Welcome back. We're in San Antonio, Texas with Caliente Hot Glass. Caliente is not only a unique business, but an industry. Caliente not only offers beautiful, one-of-a-kind handcrafted glass art pieces for sale, but also offers classes to teach others the skill and art behind glass blowing. Let's get inside and check out what they are baking up in Caliente Hot Glass. I'm James Webster, and this is Owners and Operators. Ruth, Meili, thank you for joining us. Thank you for having us, I should
Absolutely.
say. Caliente Hot Glass. I like to start, owners and operators, as we mentioned before, we really like to get behind the scenes, understand the inner workings of small businesses, how they operate. Why don't you give us a 30,000 foot view of Caliente and what it is that you do here and how you serve in the community and continuing this beautiful artwork that we're surrounded by.
Absolutely. We are glass artists. There are lots of different types of glass. So we start with our glass in the molten state. It stays at over 2,000 degrees all day, every day. Then we will take an ingot of that molten glass and blow it into an art vessel or sculpt it into an award. It's a lot of high intense heat in a very industrial environment, and it brings forth some of the most graceful objects we've seen.
All right, so why don't you give us, this is a very interesting business. So how did you decide to get involved with it, or how did you stumble into it?
Yeah, absolutely. With the exception of Glenn, our resident artist, we were all filling a void. Ralph is the studio owner. He owns the equipment and manages the infrastructure. He saw a good deal. He knew a good deal when he saw it. So he learned how to blow glass. That studio was closing. He bought that equipment in a bank auction and converted a bay of his hydraulic shop into what is now our studio. I come from corporate, and I saw that glass blowing was a team sport and that Glenn needed a good partner that was reliable. And coming from corporate, I can do all the schedules and all the logic and organization, and so that's been a really good fit. And then Glenn, again, our resident artist, he's been an artist his whole life, and he's been in love with glass actively since childhood. So Glenn knew he needed this to be his life. He saw it around the turn of the century at a Renaissance festival. And he told his mother, he's like, that is what I'm doing with my life. He was one of the students at the first studio that taught how to blow glass here at the turn of the century. And spent, almost 20 years now in production in art studios. And then about 2015, he became the lead for Caliente. And so the three of us working together is what makes this crazy dream run.
What makes it tick?
Yeah.
How does a client comes to you to commission a project? What does that look like? Like, you walk us through, somebody has an idea, they might want something for their home, a nice vase or something for the home.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would that look like? Would they just say, just go for it, or would
well, those are the best kind. We have had some clients that understood that an artist is this unique being, and they vibed with the style of his art. And so we had a client come in and give us 2 fabric swatches, and he said, these are the colors of my dining room chairs, make me something. And that process was absolutely amazing. We have other clients that we will draw up a few different ideas for, and then develop that journey along the way. It honestly depends on what you're talking about. Sure. I'm referring to our art glass chandeliers. They are some of the most inspiring things we make, and that is a long process. It's a conversation that could take a year, Wow. But for our other work, like awards and memorials, 6 weeks is a good start.
Besides the artwork that you're making and you're selling here, I also noticed that you're running classes. So talk to us a little bit about the classes.
We do. Classes have been such an interesting journey. We do small bite-sized experiences. so that you can have a hands-on interaction with molten glass, and then have a souvenir to take from that. And so we really focus on helping you understand how it acts and how to treat it and how it moves, and so to build the foundation in the language of glass. So our small group public classes are usually about 6 people. We do private parties up to 15 or 20, depending on what it is. And then you go home with a souvenir, ornaments, pumpkins, flowers.
What's a typical client that might come for the class?
Intrepid adventurers, people that are curious, people that so many people have an interest in glass. We've had the most amazing guests come through. We like to say we're so lucky that we're a small business. Like, we're able to say that we have opinions, not policies, and so 9 times out of 10 we're able to work with you, and because we're all people.
Sure.
We're just trying to share something that we love.
Let's make it happen. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you would need to order the supplies for? I know you mentioned the glass itself is sitting there, it's at 2,000 degrees. But what about the colors? Is there anything that you need to order, or everything you could pretty much create with what you have here?
I would love to create our own color. There are about 5 color manufacturers worldwide. How they make the color is very secretive. We know it's lots of heavy metals, gold, silver, cadmium, copper, that are actually mixed together to make the glass color, and then that's blended in with glass, so it's a delicate balance of how much color and how much glass. We keep a large stock of glass on hand. Most of the rainbow, a full shelf of neutrals, and then another shelf of specialty colors, like to make the sparkles or the metallics.
Sure, that makes sense. Has the vision for the business changed since you first started it? Or since it first started? When did you incorporate those classes?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The business is a journey. We started out just making vision work that we believed in, a singular moment with the glass that was a beautiful dance that ended in something equally as beautiful. And then we found out that there was a desire by the public for classes. And so we started slowly having a slow immersive experience with the glass, because the last thing we want to do is commercialize what we do. And so we're walking that delicate balance of how to share what we love in a way that keeps the lights on, but still really respects the glass. How we approach the glass is so personal. It's not told well in print or in photos.
Sure.
It's an experience, and that's how we experience it. And so we want to share our passion for the understanding of how glass works.
Tell me something about Caliente that most people watching, and that we haven't talked about today, and most people watching might not know.
Working with the glass, it's like a philosophy. It's a lifestyle. And for us, we start with molten glass, and we have to stay with it through the entire process until it goes into the annealer to cool without stopping. And so our art becomes a practice in being present. It's a moving meditation. And so we take the glass as a partner, as a participant of what we're doing, and work with it to create something beautiful.
So what is one of the biggest or the biggest challenge that you face as a business owner?
It would definitely be one of balance. I think that's with most things. As focusing on being a fine art studio where each piece is individually made, there's a balance between doing what's right for the art and keeping the lights on. We're in a position where we can really focus on honing our niche, and incredibly grateful for that. But it's been a long journey. Like, we've built this brick by brick,
Well, there's a famous saying for a reason, the starving artist, right?
Yes.
In the beginning, it's a grind.
Absolutely.
I've seen that myself. What is next for Caliente Hot Glass? What are your those plans? What would you love
Where's
to
the journey
implement?
taking us?
Where are you guys going?
Where are we going? One of the things that's next is Glenn dipping into more mythology, philosophy. And so he is working with the cellist to bring the myth of Daedalus and Icarus. Icarus flew too close to the sun. Bringing that entire mythology, that narrative of it, into glass. And then the cellist will be making composition to accompany those pieces, and it will all be exhibited together later this year.
That's awesome. You'll have to bring us back for that. Let us know
Absolutely.
when that's happening. We'd love to check in on that. Thanks for joining us today at Caliente Hot Glass. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and look forward to bringing you inside more interesting businesses like Caliente Hot Glass. So be sure to punch that subscribe button and follow us so you don't miss out. And if you're interested in having owners and operators showcase your business, please comment below and we will be in touch.